Alright guys, welcome back to another video, and today we're going to be talking about how to create your own website. Now, creating your own website can be very challenging, but I'm here to take you through and help you accomplish that. So, we're going to start off basic HTML. It's not a coding language, it's not a programming language, it is a markup language. So, it's going to be the structure of your website. It's structuring it out, making sure everything's structured right. Now, what if you're asking, hey, why can't I just use one of those programs that has already templates pre-made? Well, you can do that, but one thing with that, you have some kind of limits with that. This, you learn how they, in the back end of things, how websites work, and you'll be able to fix your website more easily, and if there may be a bug, you won't really be able to fix it because you won't know how, because it's already pre-made, and there could be a bug in the system of the website that lets you make one pre-made. So this way you can trust yourself because you are actually doing things from the back end of things, so you know it's right, and you can easily make things what you want. In some pre-made templates, they won't have what you want, and you're like, oh man, but this way you can. So we're going to start off very simply today. I'm just going to suggest a few editors to use for this. I'm using Sublime Text, and you can use anything. I tried TextEdit, but that's kind of annoying. Windows, you can use Notepad++. You can use PyCharm, which mainly for Python, but you can use HTML files in there too. Sublime Text. So there's a bunch of different things you can use to write HTML. Sublime download is just all you click download, drag it into your applications if it's on Mac. If it's not, just open it. Standard procedure for installing something from the internet. So let's get started, shall we? So the first thing we're going to want to do is set up our file. So the way we do that, we like to do, now this part is optional, you don't have to do it, but I usually like to do it. Now we can use doctype HTML. Now that's just telling us that it's an HTML file. So next, what we want to do is we want to actually tell the computer that this is an HTML file, but first we're going to do this. We're going to set it up, then we'll tell our computer that it's an HTML file. So you're probably wondering, what am I doing? What I'm doing is making tags. See these brackets or inequality signs, whatever you want to call them? They open and close tags. Like you can have the HTML opening tag and the HTML close tag. So with an opening tag, it's gonna look like that. Whatever. I'm gonna teach you at least most of the tags here, maybe all of them. And HTML is the first tag you want to have to set up your file. Some editors already have your HTML file pre-set up, so you don't have to worry about it, but most of them you have to set up yourself. So now we're gonna do our next tag, which will be our head tag. I accidentally just made the bottom again. It's okay though, because we're going to so that's a head tag. So inside the head tag, we want to put our title tag. I'll explain this all in a second. Okay, so you notice how we have our title tags. So opening, closing tag, you see that? So we're not done finishing it though. The title tag isn't part of the setup, you don't need it, but it'll be necessary to making the website. So the last thing we're going to do is the body tag, which is where most of our HTML is. So you pretty much have it set up nice and everything. So as you can see, that's the gist of what we want here. We'll do more spacing and everything later, but now we're going to save it. So what I'm going to call this one is I'm going to call it web.html. So we're going to hit save as, and I'm not going to call it doc.html. We're going to call it is up to you, but I'm just going to call it web and .html. So you always want to have HTML after it, because that's telling the computer that's an HTML file. Because if you don't, then it won't. It's just a read-only file, and it won't work. Let's just say. So now this is where you want to save your stuff to, wherever location, desktop downloads, wherever really. So we're just gonna save it, and now it's called web.html. So you notice, and it will tell us our errors and our syntax and everything as well. So, and later we'll work with CSS and everything to do design and everything, like designing, coloring, and everything. But for right now, we don't need to. So, oops, forgot that there. Now that's better. Just wondering why it wasn't working. So now that I've explained how tags work and everything, we've set up our HTML file. We're going to start by starting our website here. Now with this, I'm only going to teach you how to do the title today and little other things as well, like our header. So first, we're just going to say hello world. And now, okay guys, so do you notice how, so we ran it and everything, and we opened it up in Google Chrome. So do you see how it says hello world right there on this tab here? That's what we did. We did that. Now you see how it's all blank? Yeah, your whole entire page is still blank. And up here, this is what is just your file. It means you're viewing a local or shared file. So it's not a URL yet, it's just a file from your computer opened in a web browser. So you're not really going to be able to, we're not going to really show you how to connect it. You can use something like Wix, but you will have to eventually, if you want to get this out there, buy your own domain or use a free domain, which those things are, it's worth paying like a couple dollars a month or something for a paid domain. So what we're going to do now, well first, this is where you get Sublime Text. The downloads right here for Mac, right here for Windows, these 64-bit or portable version is portable, and or Linux as well. So whichever operating system you have, you can get here. And yeah, so now what we're going to do is we're going to get our header and H1 tag set up. So H1, there's H1 through H6. So H1 being the biggest, H6 being the smallest. So we have a header tag just for our header, put the header, and then header 1 is H1. So we're going to put something in there like welcome to my site, and now we're going to show you what that looks like. Okay, so once you save it and refresh the page on your browser, it'll come up as welcome to my site. So that's what that's going to say. So what you've done so far is you've created a title at the top, and we've also created a header. So yeah, it's pretty easy so far, looking pretty good. So in the next video we'll go you'll learn much more, but this is just to start you off, get you a little bit familiar. So yeah, that's the first video in this HTML series / course, and I will see you next time.